All right, y'all, I'm going to try not to talk too long on this, but bear with me. So, yesterday, 76ers versus Knicks, Minnesota versus Spurs. Neither game surprised me at all personally. I'll start with the Knicks versus 76ers. I actually have the Knicks winning this series pretty comfortably. Gentlemen sweep at best. At worst, they're going game six. I don't see a game seven in this series. I mean, it could happen, but I don't have it, in my opinion. When I watched the 76ers play against the Celtics, especially in game number 7, and I was watching Joel Embiid I believe that was that left knee that was just getting toe up, just toe up. And then in particularly towards the end of the game where who had the ball? Jaylen Brown had the ball. He drives in towards the free throw line. He pushes off Maxey, and Maxey just clashes into that left knee that was already being hampered by Joel Embiid. I was like, oh man, they're gonna win this game, because at that point they were winning. I was like, they may win, but the Celtics done took their pound of flesh as well, meaning that Joel Embiid is not gonna be nowhere near healthy for this Knicks series. And he can't be 60% in this series. And he's probably going to be 60 or lower the entire series. I'll be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if he misses a game or so in this series. Okay. And to get beat the way they got beat yesterday, it's demoralizing. It's like, okay, I was out here. I really couldn't do the things that I wanted to, right? Because to me, in order for me to see the 76ers even having a chance of winning this series, it has to be a very ugly game. I'm talking about Joel Embiid got to have his big butt in that post, getting fouls, putting the Knicks team in foul trouble, slowing the game down. And in order for you to even be able to do things as such, your lower extremities has to be ready to go for that entire series. And with him having those injuries, it'd be too much to put on somebody's body to ask them to just constantly be taking those poundings down low. Constantly trying to use those lower extremities to establish position and dominance the entire series in an NBA game constantly. It's not going to happen. And then you still got to go and guard on the other end. So I just don't see this series really going anywhere. I have the Knicks winning gentleman sweep, or at least in game by game 604-2. Now over there with Minnesota Spurs is my favorite team, right? I grew up with the Spurs. For those that don't know, my top 3 favorite players of all time is Michael Jordan, number 1, number 2, LeBron, number 3, Tim Duncan, in that order, as I just said. A person that started making me watch basketball again in this era is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which I'm going to talk about him in a moment. But with the Minnesota versus Spurs series, Minnesota is truly made to bang with the Spurs. Like that, it's the matchup wise, in terms of athleticism, having the ability to run up and down the floor, things of that nature. And then they got a wrecker in Julius Randle, who's kind of an X factor in that series. The win, yeah, I mean, I want the Spurs to win. Can they still win this series? I think so. But the little stuff that I got to see yesterday, because I didn't get to really watch the game. It was on Peacock. I do have that app, but I didn't get to watch it. With that being said, Wemby, obviously he's 7'4", 7'5". You can't teach that. If you have decent awareness, right, and you can move around decently within that paint, it's going to be almost impossible to score on someone that height. They have decent coordination, as you saw yesterday. You're just not really getting nothing on Wemby like that. But one thing I do notice about Wemby, he's like he moves around kind of weird. How can I explain it? Like he moves around like he is not the most coordinated guy, especially on the offensive end. And I saw that they had him a lot out there at the 3-point line, or he shot a lot more threes than what he should. To me, if I'm Wemby, if I have the ability to shoot out there, I'm going to shoot it out there. That's fine. But why not establish dominance early in the game? And I don't even know if this is in his game at this point of his career. I don't know if he has the strength or the know-it-all to even do it. But why not have him establish his dominance down low? Because if he's that tall, he's gonna always have an easy shot at the basket. Nobody's blocking his shot. right? So I don't know if he has the strength to do it or to know it all or how to establish himself down there in that low paint area and stuff like that, or even put him at the I can't think of the area right now right top of my head, but or a high post and find a way, come the man come down from the low post, give him a screen, bring him down, find a way to get him down there. It shouldn't be no reason why he's not down there in the post, and put him in a position where he can get comfortable down there, score some baskets. Again, I don't know if that's in his game or not, and then he should be putting the Minnesota Timberwolves in foul trouble, and then from there he can kind of do what he wants, and then it opens it up for everybody else, because at that point you have the team in Minnesota being apprehensive on being aggressive because they're in foul trouble. I just don't get it, right? But to me, if they continue to have him out there at the 3-point line, if he's not going to do anything to put the Minnesota Timberwolves in foul trouble, I really don't see why he would be as effective as he needs to be for the Spurs against the Timberwolves. Outside of defense, obviously on defense, he's always going to do what he needs to do. And then I've heard great things about the cast around him and things of that nature. But with this series, I hope the Spurs win. I can really say who's gonna win, but again, last night game just didn't surprise me. That's all I wanted to say about that. Now back to the East very quickly before I head to OKC Thunder and the Lakers and all that. But on the East side, I have Knicks going to the Western Conference Finals. I have them beating the 76ers pretty easily, gentleman sweep of 4-2. And then on the opposite of that, I honestly have the Pistons beating the Cavaliers. From an experience standpoint, obviously you can say, oh man, they got can't even think of his name right off the top of my head. Oh boy, they used to play for Utah. But you can say, oh, they got Donovan Mitchell, they got the great James Harden, all that, and that may be true. But I'm not going to give too much detail about this series because I don't have the details like that about this series. But just from the outside looking in, I'm going to say the Spurs. I think it's going to, I'm not saying the Spurs, Lord have mercy, the Pistons. I think it's going to be a Knicks-Pistons Eastern Conference Finals, which is going to be a hell of a finals, by the way. Either or, it's going to be a hell of a finals. But back to the West, whoever, the Timberwolves or the Spurs, whoever comes out of that fight, which is going to be a tough one, both are going to give OKC Thunder trouble. Meaning, yes, I got OKC Thunder beating the Lakers. Now, I'm hearing that it's a 15 to 15.5 point favorite for the Thunder. I wouldn't take it personally. I think that the Lakers can make it ugly. I really do. LeBron James, yes, he's 41 years old, but he's a super smart player. And I would hope that himself would see like, hey, we can't run with these young boys. Let's try to make it ugly. Starting with myself. Because at the end of the day, they still don't have anyone that's big enough or fast enough to guard LeBron, meaning that Shai Gilgeous could guard LeBron. He may be faster at this point of his life, but LeBron is still stronger, so he can find his advantages down low. And then, of course, if you put the bigger guys, or at least the taller guys on LeBron, I think he's faster than those guys like Chet Holmgren, the other guys that they got. Like, point being, I know from a roster standpoint, the OKC Thunder, who I want to win, is that team, right? But I believe LeBron can make it messy, man. At least make it ugly. Don't just go in there like, oh man, we just out here playing with this team that I know that's better and we're gonna let them do what they do. No, make that shit ugly. LeBron's too good, too smart for that. If I'm LeBron, I'm trying to put them in foul trouble. And that changes the whole dynamic of the game. Now, depending on how the ref calls the game, if you can't find a way to do those things, and they happen to find a way to do those things, then, of course, the Lakers going to get blown off the floor. Okay? But this first game, the game number one, I wouldn't take the 15.5. I know a lot of people got them getting beat by at least 20 plus. That could be the case, but I'm not going to take it. I believe LeBron and company could make it ugly. But I do have the OKC Thunder winning this series. Gentleman sweep, at worst 4-2 as well, like the Knicks would do versus the 76ers. So whoever the OKC Thunder play in the Western Conference Finals is going to be a fight. Either or, Minnesota, Spurs, I believe is more of a matchup trouble for OKC than Minnesota, but both is going to give them trouble. That being said, I do have OKC Thunder winning a repeat. I honestly got them probably doing a three-peat. I believe that Shai Gilgeous came at the right time. And I believe coming at the right time, like he has a skill set, but you still got to have the pieces around you. And you got to have the forward pieces around you to be successful. We know that's how team sports work. So I think with that being said, and I'm going to speak on Shai just for a brief moment. He's one of the players who's gotten me excited about watching basketball again. I hadn't been watching basketball for years. And I started watching this kid because I was hearing people say he was a free throw merchant. I started watching his game and I'm watching him like, dude is the real deal. I haven't been excited to watch somebody like this in a long time from an offensive standpoint. So you got Shai, to me, who's the best OKC Thunder player of all time. I don't think that's up for debate, in my opinion. You know, he has MVP, probably for the win his second one. Has 4 seasons already. I don't know how old Shai is right off the top of my head. I know he's less than 30. He already has 4 seasons with 30 plus points a game. And I believe he has another 6 to 8 prime years at least. And I believe out of those 6 to 8, he's going to score at least another 3 to 4 seasons of 30 plus point game. 30 plus points a game. If he gets 4 more, he'll top Michael Jordan. The great Michael Jordan. Now, will he be greater than Michael Jordan? No, because I got Michael Jordan that's the greatest. Michael Jordan, outside of the offensive end, he's like way better defensive player than Shai. You're not gonna convince me on that. But back to what I was saying, Shai is one of the most excited. He's made me so excited to watch NBA again. I literally got to purchase my money for the Peacock app to watch him play last week, I believe. But Shai, who I believe is the best OKC Thunder / what was they called, the Seattle Supersonics player who's ever laced up on a jersey, right? Based off what he's contributed for that team, winning the chip, Clutch Player of the Year, MVP, already won a chip, for to win another chip, I believe. Okay, I'm basing strictly what he's done for that team. He's the best player they've ever had. Okay, and I believe he's gonna be. He has a chance to be legendary. He's a legend already, but he has a chance to be legendary. We're talking about top 10 easily. Okay, he's headed that way, and I believe just based off how they have that organization constructed right now for the next 5 to 8 years, at least for the next 5 years, he's going to continue to be successful. That's why I said it's important what your organization do for you now and what they got coming for you, or what they're going to be giving you going forward for the next 5 years or so. So I believe he's going to win. And I say bare minimum 4 rings, right? He could win more, but I believe he's going to win at least 4. I do have them winning this year, which will be a repeat, which few people who's ever played in the NBA have done that. I believe they can win a 3-peat, right? And only a handful of people have done that. I think Jordan and his team, and then you got Kobe and company and stuff like that. Maybe Bill Russell back in the day, things of that nature. But many teams that's ever played has never won a 3-peat. All right. So I Shai Gilgeous, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this kid. I'm going to continue to watch him. I'm going to continue to support. Like, I may even get the league package going into 26-27 season, literally because of Shai Gilgeous. That's how excited I am. The best to LeBron, obviously, like I said, LeBron is my second favorite player of all time, but I mean, he's on his way out, and I get it. You want to see people do well on their way out, but I mean, it's the new era turn. You know, I was like that with Jordan. When Jordan was on his way out, I was like, it's a new era turn, you know, especially when he came back from the Wizards. It's a new era turn. So I would love to see the OKC Thunder, and I do got the OKC Thunder winning a back-to-back. I would love to see, I think that's all I had. So yeah, I got OKC Thunder, probably versus the Knicks. Or probably versus the Pistons. But I'm going to say the Knicks, and I got them beating them. Beating them in like 6 or 7. They could go 6 or 7. That's my thoughts on it. Y'all tell me how y'all feeling about things y'all way, how y'all feeling about the NBA currently, and to the next video.